What are the predictions for the housing market for 2024? Is it going to be a crash? Are we going to see prices drop dramatically? Are we going to see interest rates start to plummet? There's so many questions above and beyond what we might know for sure. But I'm here, Drake Abshire, your real estate agent and luxury specialist here in Lafayette, Louisiana, to give you the update for Lafayette Parish and beyond, so you guys know exactly what's going on in the real estate market and you can be informed to make the best decision for you and your family in the upcoming year. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about everything we're seeing in the market and what you guys can expect for the coming years. So now let's talk a bit about predictions before we get to the specific Lafayette Parish market update. So for the predictions for 2024, well, let's talk a bit about the things that we saw that happened in 2023. Well, we know for a year that it was very demoralizing for most home buyers, right? And sellers weren't too keen on what they were seeing as well. We weren't really seeing prices being driven up crazy high like we were before, right? Houses were not flying off the market. Seems like days on market, homes are sitting for a little bit longer. And also the mortgage rates, they were stubbornly high almost all the way through 2023. We were really hoping to start to see it trickle back down, and we really didn't see much movement until we got to that November, December. And now we've been kind of at a stalemate. We are stuck around that 6.7, 6.8% interest rate. We've been holding there. So despite all of these easing in the rates, we are not really seeing the prices of homes really start to drop dramatically. They're actually staying stubbornly high, which is historically keeping the housing market, the stock that we have, low. We are still inventory low market, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me say that, but the inventory is still low. So it has put some people out of the possibility of being able to purchase right now. But of course, our goal is with you here to strategize exactly how we can make that happen for you. So let's talk a little bit more about some economic data that we're looking at, and maybe it'll give us a little bit of foresight of what we could expect into 2024, and it'll help you figure out your plans. If we look at the rates, we know they were sitting real high in October. We had 7.79. The median house price in the third quarter were north of $400,000 across the country. And the average payment for a home had hit its highest level ever, which was $2,306, according to the Intercontinental Exchange. So looking into the prediction of 2024, it looks like it is going to be a better year to buy a home for some, not all. And we also need to come to terms with the fact that home prices will remain elevated. We are not seeing a dramatic price drop. We've seen some small incremental drops in prices, but for the most part, they're still staying elevated because of the low inventory, supply and demand. Economists are feeling really optimistic about the way that the Fed has been creating this soft landing for the economy. We know we've been hearing that they're trying to create that soft landing by slowly raising the rates and then slowly bringing them back down. We're hoping that all of that pent-up demand is going to bring buyers back into the market, but hopefully not flood it too quickly that it causes the same surge and things that we had just a few years ago. Mark Fleming, who is the chief economist at First American Financial Corporation, he has a quote where he predicts a flat stretch ahead for the housing market. He said, if the 20 to 21 housing market was too hot, then the 2023 market was probably too cold. But 2024 won't yet be just right, according to his 2024 forecast. So that means it could be favorable conditions for some home buyers, but we're not promising all. We know, of course, we need interest rates to cool off. That would be the best possible scenario, but of course we don't want them to cool off too fast. Rapidly falling rates, we know, cause a surge of demand and flooding of the market, which is not going to help you as a buyer. So what are we having high hopes for? Well, a normal market we know would be with rates anywhere between 4 to 5%. That's a normal, healthy market, historically speaking, where we can actually be sustainable as a market. What about mortgage origination loans? That means how many people are opening mortgage applications to get their loan qualified to be able to purchase. Well, according to the data, they're saying that activity still remains at a tight end, and that the Mortgage Bankers Association see that the conditions that we're in right now, they consider that to be the bottom. They're predicting that total mortgage origination volume will increase from an anticipated 1.64 trillion in 2023 to a 1.95 trillion next year. And that's with those 6% interest rates that we're forecasting. So what is the housing inventory for 2024? Well, homeowners are staying locked in because some of them have those low interest rates. They're really not wanting to make that move because they know it will dramatically increase their payment. So don't expect to see a meaningful increase in the existing home sales market. What we're really seeing is we're seeing new construction really start to take a turn. Builders are really all in right now, building lots and lots of homes, and then they're offering these incentives such as buying your rate down or giving you closing costs. So really one of the best deals that you can find right now is really with new construction versus existing home sales. So everything that we're seeing, we have that chronically low resale inventory. It has exceeded a 1.7%, leaving existing home stock at a scant, very small amount of 3.5 months of supply at the current sales pace. And we understand that many experts say that what a healthy market would be having 4 to 6 months of inventory. So 3.5 months is really still at that area where we consider low inventory, and it's not a healthy, balanced market. So will the housing market crash in 2024? No, we do not think there is going to be a crash in 2024. We do see that there will be some declining in prices. Markets that were overinflated, such as Austin, Texas, that was one of them that was known to have a very inflated market. We've actually seen a slight decrease on some of the prices in certain areas, and that applies to different cities around the country that are declining in price. What about foreclosure activities? People think, oh man, the economy's not doing great. Maybe everybody's going to be foreclosed on and we're going to have the same problem as 2008. Well, not exactly. If you look at the foreclosure activity, it says it's still at about 60% of pre-pandemic levels as we prepare to exit 2023, and it isn't likely to be back to 2019 numbers until sometime into mid to late 2024. So with all those incentives that were pumped into the market and that they were giving to people, we know we are not really seeing as much of those foreclosures happening as they were before the actual pandemic hit. But we know that foreclosure activity does sometimes take years, months for that actually to take place. So that's why we are predicting that we're actually going to start to see the uptick in foreclosures. We know also the massive growth from the price of homes going up very high also is what's helped battle the foreclosures. So before they're actually in over their heads and really struggling to make those payments. According to Rob Barber, he is the CEO of the property data provider Adam. He says foreclosure filings continue to paint a concerning picture. As we look ahead to 2024, we anticipate a potential uptick in foreclosure activity as various economic factors evolve and market dynamics shift. Well, should you buy? Should you wait? Well, that's a decision you really have to make for yourself. And so all we can do is give you tips and keep you lots with knowledge so you can make the best decision for you. So here are going to be some tips that I have for people who are looking to buy in today's market and also for people who are looking to sell. So pro tip for buying in today's market: move to a lower priced market, right? Where the homes are not quite as expensive. If you pick expensive areas, you're going to pay for expensive prices. So are you happy with some suburbs? Can you do a little bit of commuting? Would that help you get into a home, something that you can actually afford? Another tip would be to make sure you have all your ducks in a row financially, that you have everything ready to go, your tax returns, that your credit is in good repair, and that you have everything ready with a lender that you can get it lined up so you don't watch the perfect home slip right through your fingers. Always check prices of listings regularly so you can beat the competition. Be the first one to know. In case you have your eye on a home and it's not moving, well, watch for price decreases. When you see the price come down, jump on it as fast as you can can, and you can get there before someone else does, hopefully get a contract on it. Also, making sure you fully understand your budget, so knowing exactly what your monthly payment will be. Rather than focusing so much on the price of the home, focus on what your monthly payment is. That's so much more important. What can fit in your budget, and knowing that exactly and sticking to that, not exceeding it, will help you in making better decisions. Now, what about pro tips for those who want to sell? Well, so in this market, you want to make sure that you work with an agent who knows how to price your home correctly. I know you've heard this before, but understanding truly how they look at the market data and understanding how to place your home strategically so you are the best option on the market at that time is what's going to help you get more money and, of course, help you to sell much faster. So you win in the end. Make sure you get your home in shape sooner rather than later so you don't get hit with a big price tag of all these different repairs that need to be done. Slowly start chipping away. If your goal is to list by spring, you can start now freshening up things. You could be doing some painting, some touch-up. If you have any landscaping, any slight repairs, pressure washing, those sort of things, touch them up now, get those things ready so you don't have such a big bill right when you're ready to list. Also, make sure your home has the best curb appeal online. That means the photos look awesome, that you have 3D tours, you have walkthroughs, you have video happening. You want everything that you can get from an agent from a marketing standpoint so your home looks the absolute best and it is the obvious choice to any buyers who are looking at them. So I've given you the information and everything that's been helpful. Let's talk about the local market and how it's affecting us with what's going on in the country. So let's look at the stats. This is Lafayette Parish specifically. We're going to look at all homes, right? All single family properties. That includes condominiums, townhouses, manufactured homes. And we're going to look at the data and how it compares to where we were last year. So new listings, we've seen new listings in a uptick. So from last year, we saw that we only had 190 homes that were listed in Lafayette Parish last year. Now we're up to 236. That is a 24.2 increase in the amount of listings coming to the market in the month of December. Now, the amount of homes that went pending. So let's see how much buyer activity. Well, last year it was 189 homes that went pending in the month of December. This year, we're looking at 198. So that's a 4.8% increase. Not bad. We're seeing a bit more activity versus what we saw last year. And that's likely because we saw that big rate drop that happened around the end of November. The amount of closed sales, we know that always takes about 30 days to 45 days to get those deals closed. Well, last year we saw 271 that were on the market in 2022 closing. And then now this year we only saw 229. That's 15.5% negative decrease in the amount of closed properties. Well, why was that happening? Well, obviously we had a much higher rate this year than it was last year. Some of the highest spikes that we saw were over summer and over 2023. So now that the rates have come back down, now we're expecting to start to see more closings, more uptick in that. Days on market is really important, especially if you're looking to sell. So last year was 25 days on market. Now we're up to 40. That's a 60% increase. So homes are sitting on the market longer. And that obviously relates to the fact of how you price the home. If you're pricing it too high, you are not doing yourself any justice. You are going to sit on the market, right? Remember, when we come on the market, you are always testing and you have to get feedback from the market, right? You understand the amount of showings that you're getting, whether or not you're priced correctly. We go to month supply. So we saw last year was 2.7 in 2022. Well, 2023, we've seen in the month of December 3.7. That's a 37% increase in the month supply. And we know a healthy market is going to be closer to 4 to 6. So we're getting closer to having a healthy market, but we're still quite not there, still low inventory. The sales price, this is the median sales price for the area. So we know in 2022 was 247,000 and now we're looking at 242,000. So we have seen prices come down just slightly, but that's only a 2% decrease. So it's really holding kind of strong for the most part. We're talking about very slight decrease. Price per square foot average for the area, 142. We've seen an increase 1.4% to $144 a square foot. The amount of showings per listing, we saw 2.3 showings per listing in 2022. Well, this year, 2.2, that is a negative 4.3%. So really, you can almost say those are kind of holding steady. It's taking about the same amount of showings for a home to go pending, maybe just slightly less. So overall, are we looking at a healthy market? No. Is it absolutely the best time for somebody to buy or sell? Well, that's a hard question, because basically you need to understand the market and understand, is it a right move for you? So could it be a good time for somebody to buy? Absolutely, if you're interested in new construction. So really, there's so many variables, and that's why I encourage people, book a call with us. Let us talk about it with you. We can decide together after you look all the data. There's no pressure whether or not it's the right time for you to buy or to sell. But again, that is your Lafayette Parish update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. I am Drake Abshire with Epic Realty. I am your new construction and luxury listing specialist here in Lafayette, Louisiana. If you're looking to relocate, invest, purchase, sell, you name it, I am your guy. Me and my team would love to connect with you. Remember to hit that bell, subscribe. I would love for you guys to catch each and every video that I release. Let me know in the comments below anything that you would like to hear, any questions that you have. I would love to answer those for you. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you can book a call at any time, and I will see you guys in the next one.